Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
A very good Friday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Thank you for everyone tuning in, following the Gentleman's Show, the Gentleman's Sweep Show of the morning show.
Reed loved it.
I know Reed had an appointment today, so he wouldn't have been able to watch or listen to much of that, so I'm sure he's absolutely thrilled by that one. Thank you to everyone for listening on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, tune in iHeartRadio, watching on YouTube or listening wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to subscribe. Edmonton Sports Talk also proudly presented by Play Alberta. Tommy, Maddie with you here on the Hangout. Benny, the intern on the other side of the camera. And a couple special guests on the show today. We've got Eric Decorby and Rob McDougall from November Project Canada. They're joining us. There's big events coming next week. So we will talk about that. They're also big sports fans. So it all just works out perfectly. Lots to get to. We'll talk Oilers. We'll talk Elks. We'll talk November Project. But how's everyone doing today? And also, Eric, Rob, welcome. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah, that's great.
EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada storage experts, more than 2 decades helping Canadians through life transitions. Canadian storage provider by Canadian. Sentinel.ca for more information to find a convenient location nearest you. A final day of those May savings in full bloom, 50% off 12 weeks on all units, 75% off 8 weeks and 5x5 units, or 4 weeks free on selected units. How's everyone feeling after that Oiler victory last night?
Come on.
This is an awesome day. Yeah, pretty excited.
Definitely riding the high.
Yeah, big time high. Yeah.
And you did your truck up as an Oilers?
This is true. Do you want me to tell the story?
Please.
Do we have time? You want a long story? You want a short story? You want the long story?
Again, there is a 2-hour show here, so feel free to fill it.
Okay, sounds good. Yes. So I drive a truck, a 1995 green Nissan pickup, which belonged to my grandpa back in the day. And my cousin had it. He dented it all up, and then now I've got it, and I've had it for like 10 years. And like people tell me like, when are you getting a new car? I think you've told me, when are you getting a new car? And I'm like, well, I can't give this thing up. Like,
Engine runs like a charm.
You can't buy these things
Right?
anymore, right? So last year, it was like, I think it was between Game 5 and Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals. I was working and just had this random thought cross my mind of like, what if, you guys know, like in the Cars realm, like Car Pope? Are you guys familiar with this?
No.
Do you know of this? The movie Cars.
I know of the movie Cars.
Like,
there we go.
There's a Car Pope.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Right?
Yeah. That makes a lot of
Massive
sense.
hat.
I get it now.
Right? And I just thought crossed my mind of like, what if there was, what if there's a Mama Stanley in the Cars realm?
Okay.
Kind of thought I better just make this happen. Because so I wrapped my truck in tinfoil, put a giant silver bowl on the top, strapped it on, and drove around town for a couple days. So now I'm getting a lot of messages of whether I'm doing that again.
Well, that was going to be the question. Are you doing that again?
I don't know. It's a little awkward driving around town in a Stanley truck.
Yeah, did you get a lot? Like, I'm assuming mostly good looks, or what?
They were looks. Yeah.
They were looks. You had any like honks and stuff? Like
Definitely some honks. Yeah.
You'd be attention
I
on
think
the road.
you have to.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like
You have to.
you got to come to the workout.
On the fence on it. We'll see. We'll see.
So you did between games 5 and 6.
Yeah.
So they weren't losing at that time. Like the series
things,
was turning
things were
around.
good. Things were good.
They were down 3-0. That was a couple of wins. They went back here to Edmonton, got that win. So there's a little something to that.
Should I do it, guys? Should I do it?
Yes.
I announce it. It's official.
Make
Make it
it
official.
Yeah.
If you've got the time, I'll sit to do it
On this show.
I know you guys are going to be rather
I don't know
busy
if I have
coming up.
time, but
But if
we'll
there
make
is
the time.
time-
We'll carve out some time.
We'll see what the nasties said. But the nasties will be like, yeah, you should probably do that.
We've got 2 hours. Do you have
Got 2 hours,
tinfoil
but-
here? Like me?
I don't think Trev's doing anything right now. We get him
Get a punch.
Yeah.
We'll all come work together on this.
Yeah.
And so you still drive that. That's the only truck you like. That's your vehicle.
That's my vehicle. Yeah. It's a little rough in the wintertime. It's not the most comfortable thing, but it does the job. So
I respect that.
I do too.
Stanley truck.
I don't have the commitment or the time, want to sit and do something like that. I just get bored to a degree. So I respect people that could go and like accomplish something like that.
It'll be easier this year, you know. I know what I'm doing now, you know.
Yeah, of course.
I'll change. I got to change tape. I got to do some research and development on tape. Because last time the tape wasn't the best. But,
Would you use
masking tape?
First mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't come off very well either. I had lines all summer all over the truck. It took me a long time to get that off.
Okay. Well, any suggestions out there, text us 780-218-9999.
Did you take it all off carefully and like just box it so it's an easier to put back up?
No, I didn't intercept.
Okay.
New roll of tinfoil. It'll be fun.
And you roll it in foil.
You just got to be ready to go now and moving forward. If you never know when the Oilers are going to be in the cup. This is Hangout Headlines. We'll make this Hangout Headlines. Brought to you by the Ranch Golf and Country Club, offering premier conditions, top-notch service, unmatched value. It's going to be a great weekend, and it's a free weekend to go golfing because there's no Oilers now. You can book your tee time at theranchgolf.com. That was some performance by the Oilers last night.
Yeah, it was. It was a sauna in Hudson's post game. I'm just gonna say that that was a bad combination with this dust storm, windstorm, and then the rain, and then a 110-year-old building. Old Tommy was boiling. That's all I have to say. Go ahead, guys.
No, it was fantastic. I was watching
awesome.
from home, so the crowds looked like a lot of fun. It was really great.
Yeah, I just can't believe this happened again. It hasn't sunk in yet.
I like it. It's like, yep. It's just watching the players yesterday, McDavid touching the trophy. I'm like, good, go do whatever the hell
I
you
love
want.
that. I love that. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
But it made so much sense when it happened. Like it's almost like, you know, you don't touch the trophy because you're not supposed to care.
Yeah.
It's like caring even less if you just touch it. It's
Right.
like it was nonchalant.
We were talking about it on the post game show last night, and I don't care. We were talking about how back in the day everybody touched the trophy. They celebrated winning it. You won that trophy. You've been crowned the champion of the Western Conference. Now you got to go get the big one. And it's not like they were, you know, basking in champagne showers, wearing ski goggles in the locker room like baseball and football and basketball do. McDavid and Draisaitl went and had their post game press conference. They were suited up and looked like they were ready for a 9 o'clock meeting.
Yeah.
Like it was business as usual. So I just saw a video too. Justin Bourne from Sportsnet put it up, and it was Rogers Place reacting to McDavid touching the cup. People are like, oh, what are you doing? No, don't do that. It's like, who cares? Who cares? It didn't work last year. They didn't touch it. Didn't work in 06. They didn't touch it. Touch it.
Yeah.
Whatever. You want it. Carry that thing. It's a nice trophy.
Yeah, I think Florida didn't touch it last year and Edmonton didn't touch it last year.
That's right.
And the Oilers lost. Florida didn't touch it, if I'm not mistaken.
They didn't touch it.
No,
No,
they
didn't.
no.
So, like, well, if you do the same thing as last year,
Connor said
like,
that.
and even if they like, and if we're going to go full superstition, and if the Oilers were to lose this upcoming Stanley Cup final, it's not going to be touch that cup because they did the other thing last year and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it all
now
makes
just
sense. The logic all makes sense here, right? Like,
From a full superstition standpoint, and I'm a guy that can be very superstitious, it makes way more sense to touch it now.
It does.
Than not
It does.
to, because last year it didn't work.
yeah,
True.
yeah.
Now, if Florida had touched it, then it would have caused problems.
Yeah,
then it would have been
Yeah.
a thing of, okay, well, they touched it now, but if we're the team that doesn't touch it, maybe, then it would have been a little bit different. But I would have just, like, from a superstition standpoint, I think you have to touch that cup. Benny, you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. I think, like, I was saying, like, I had a group of friends over and we're like, I think I was the only one that said he's going to touch it. Because they're like, oh, no, he's too superstitious, like whatever. And I was like, he's doing the opposite of what happened last year. They didn't touch it last year. They lost. This year, it's if he touches it, I think it changes the outcome. It's solely on that decision. That's the only reason why they're winning. Is only because Connor McDavid touched the cup. Can you tell I'm being sarcastic?
Also, I'm texting you a picture of Eric's truck
Okay.
that you can throw up on the YouTube after.
And then the known fact source that is Twitter. This text comes in and says, I saw a stat on Twitter last night. Teams that touch the conference trophy when the other team doesn't are 8-3 in the final. Let's hope that trend continues. So maybe they're
Interesting.
Yeah,
What is it
okay.
again?
8-3. So
When they touch it.
teams that touch the conference trophy when the other team doesn't has an 8-3 record in the final.
Does that only happened 11 times?
What happened in 06?
Wow.
Didn't they touch it?
They didn't touch it in 06, I'm pretty sure, did they?
They didn't. No.
I remember Jason Smith
Yeah,
not
just kinda
touching
like-
it.
Okay, well, so the last two losses in Stanley Cup final, they didn't touch the cup.
Yeah,
Touch the damn
exactly.
cup.
Yeah.
And do it with confidence. It wasn't
Yeah, it was
like,
confident.
oh, maybe. It was just right there.
No, I love the nonchalance. Like, it's not
Yeah.
like they're parading around with it above their heads.
No.
Like, yeah, like this is just business as usual.
Bill Daly was not expecting that.
He was not expecting that. That was
he was
really
ready to
funny.
take a picture.
That was really funny.
Connor's like kind of
he's
like, well, can I take this?
Yeah.
Can I grab this? And Bill's like, oh yeah, go ahead. Like,
Please.
no one was expecting that one at all. So go for it. So now it's I'll say like that start that they had too. I don't know if anyone would have saw that start. Like,
I know. Two goals on the first 2 shots, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
and then Pete DeBoer just unraveled as a coach in one regard. I think that's a coach that he knows he was getting fired if he lost the game.
I feel like that is the case because the contract that Ottinger has is, I think Dusty was saying on the morning show, 8-year extension. He's not going anywhere. Pete's going somewhere, if anything. And yeah, he did unravel. I was very surprised. Like hey, Jake, get the F back here. That whole thing, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Did you see the one of the announcers sitting beside the goalie, basically saying how bad he was doing?
Ray Ferraro, yeah.
Face. Oh my gosh, it felt so bad.
I was listening to the ESPN broadcast of it, and Ray Ferraro and like him and Sean McDonough are having to talk about it and stuff, and Jake Ottinger just sitting right there, just going,
Oh man,
Behind me.
this is awkward. But yeah, it's like I think that's Pete DeBoer going, even with what he said post game, was he knew, like, he's gone to the 3 conference finals with the Stars and always lost.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Jim Nill is a guy that, and they maybe thinks that, like, yeah, they're probably going to look for another coach to take that next step because I'm not getting it done clearly. So screw it. I'm going out by doing this type of thing. But man, it's just, with the comeback that the Stars kind of had, getting it closer a few times, you do wonder if Jake Ottinger in there makes the difference. And
I wanted to say that it does. Like, the Stars weren't that bad in that game, and had they not been giving up a goal every time Dallas scores, Edmonton gets one back. If they couple of those taken away from Edmonton is the difference maker there.
I would not have any faith whatsoever in Casey DeSmith salvaging that game for me.
No,
I have a very passionate take about that whole situation. I thought it was a pure decision on pure emotion from Pete DeBoer. I thought it was a selfish, like, I don't know. I don't mind the timeout, and I understand the message he's trying to send by changing the goalies. But that's your guy that got you there. He, in my opinion, he held them in game 4. Like he was a big reason why that game was close. And you're gonna, like, your guy who's gotten you there. You call timeout. It was 2 goals that, like, terrible defensive breakdowns.
Yes.
Like they were not floaters from the point. Like, those were tough.
just walk on in. Tannis, you can just walk in. So, Tannis, just don't stand like right in front of the camera. You're good there. But you just want to take pictures. So sorry, Benny.
And I thought it was a ridiculous. I thought it was a ridiculous play. Ottinger's on his way back to his net, and Pete DeBoer's yelling at him to come back off. Like, I thought you embarrassed him in front of everyone. Those were 2 like defensive breakdowns. Like, if you're mad at anyone, mad at your defense. That's a breakaway and a wide open Corey Perry on a power play. You could probably argue that he wants one of them, maybe, but you don't take him out in that situation. I bet you he stops that 3rd goal, like that Skinner score.
That was not a good goal.
Casey DeSmith needs to cover that. Instead, he pushes it out.
That was like his first or second shot that he faced too. It was
it was a second shot.
Yeah.
I thought it was a ridiculous move in that for that stakes of game 5. I don't know.
Well, it was the timing of it too. That was embarrassing because I'm glad you brought that up because it was like, why didn't you deal with this at the beginning of the timeout?
Exactly.
You could have just been quiet, just do it, be decisive about it. But it's like you have a timeout, which the timeout makes sense. Like they need to regroup there. Timeout makes sense. I agree with that call. But then just make your decision, move on. Don't have the timeout and then all this drama after it takes away all the reset. And now you're back into this kind of the whole team's out of it again.
I don't even think it didn't look like he talked to his assistant coaches.
Was DeSmith ready to go? I didn't.
I don't even know. So that my thought was he just screamed at his whole bench.
Yeah.
And out of just pure emotion, he's like, you know what? And goalie, see you later. DeSmith, you're going in. I thought that was ridiculous. Talk to your coaches, get DeSmith ready. If you guys make that decision, get them prepared and have it happen as the timeout's happening. Yeah, I thought it was ridiculous.
Also, as a head coach, you only get 2 moves during a period to shake your team up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Goalie change and a timeout.
Yeah.
And you use both of them at the exact same
Yeah.
time. That's the
Yeah,
part
true.
that
Yeah,
I don't
true.
like. If you're using the timeout, calm the team down.
Yep.
If you want to yell at the team or instead to just yell at the team, send your goalie back out there. If he lets in a third goal,
Yep, then
pull
you
him.
go.
Then you pull out, you go to the second thing. To do both at once,
Yep.
that early in a hockey game, that was the part that I was like, that's an interesting one. Because I actually I could defend the goaltending change. It's one of those sometimes you're just trying to shake up the team. You're just trying to be like,
Yes.
well, you guys are playing piss poor. And I'm pulling him because you guys are playing piss poor, and I got to do something to send that message. I know Ray Ferraro was in favor of the move during the period,
Sure. Okay.
but it's both happening at once that I go, and then the comments post game
Yeah.
completely throwing him under the bus when he says don't want to blame him entirely, but then throwing him under the bus. That's where I went. Yeah, no, this is a coach that knows if he didn't win this series, he was done.
Yeah. If you didn't catch the comments, it was something to the effect of Jake has lost 6 of the last 7 against Edmonton.
What a phrase.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know if that's the best move to call. Yes, it wasn't just Jake Ottinger.
No,
There
that's
was a lot more to it than that.
Yeah.
Wait until they imagine if both are back next year and training camp and
A little awkward.
hey, Pete, how was your summer? Oh, good, Jake. How was yours? Like,
Hello.
things will go very well.
Yeah.
Before you get to that, Benny, you could send over for those watching on YouTube. Here's the truck of Eric's from last year. Here's it's Stanley truck.
Stanley truck.
Stanley truck. There, it's all done up. So,
oh, you're definitely doing it now.
did you blind anyone with that tinsel?
It's aluminum.
So there's a lot of thought that went into that because I had to consult a few people because I wanted to put the shiny side out, but I did end up putting the non-shiny side out because that was where I was going to get pulled over.
Yeah, for blinding people sun hitting, reflecting.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's the non-shiny side, so it's not too bad, but
You should have just kept it up.
it's true.
It just adds a message of this is what we're fighting for next year. What was the final? Dallas had how many shots in the third period?
Like 3
barely
or 4.
any.
Yeah, I think in the final 19 minutes or something, they had 2 in the end.
Yeah, it was
or
hardly
something.
anything.
Yeah.
That in itself from them. Do you remember the clinching game against Dallas last year?
Yeah, 34-10 were the shots in favor of the Stars.
It was an onslaught from the Dallas Stars last year
that.
to try to win that hockey game or to tie it in that game 6, and couldn't get anything through. But this year, the Oilers, they shut them down. They didn't even let the shots get through, which was just beyond
4 shots
impressive.
Total in the third last night for Dallas.
Beyond impressive.
Crazy
for
from
the
a team facing elimination.
Yeah.
You got to think that Dallas was still in desperation mode. It's just the Oilers. I want to say, were they that good to shut that
They're that
down?
good. Their defense is
I'm
unreal.
scared to say that they're that good, but
Isn't that crazy saying they're good? And then they're Stanley Cup.
I told
good?
this to my family last night. I still kind of in the back of my mind feel like I'm in 2013 and things suck. And I'm I gotta remind myself that
Good things shouldn't happen to this
good things
organization.
actually can't happen.
Last year was supposed to be a fluke and almost what are we doing? Why are we back here 2 years in a row? This can't be.
Oh, it is happening.
Yeah, and there was a fair argument that this team was maybe on paper worse than last year. They're much better playing wise than they were last year, though. The defensive game of this team is absolutely ridiculous in the most amazing way.
It's the depth and the defense that are just a step up.
But now Florida's going to be a different animal. Although I could say for some Oiler fans out there, that has been said about the Kings. That was said about the Golden Knights. That was said about the Stars, and the Oilers just pushed them all aside outside the first 2 games against LA. How's everyone feeling about the Florida Panthers?
Again, I don't want to have the same feeling again. I'm feeling the same way. These guys got to be better, right? I felt the same way every series. I'm like, well, the Kings are better than they were last 3 years. Feeling the same way. But then there is a piece of me, and knock on wood, but the Oilers have blown through these series no problem, and the East does seem a little bit weaker than the West. I'm scared to say it. I'm scared to say it out loud.
Well, the Oilers just haven't had they have in what you would project for the second and third round. They saved themselves a game or 2 in both rounds.
It's true.
Just save their body, and even in that they're for playoff wise, they're fresh enough. I think going into a Stanley Cup final.
19 games at this point last year, 16 games at this point.
Yeah.
going into the Cup final. That someone pointed that out yesterday.
And Panthers Lightning went what? Was that 5 or that was 5?
Yeah.
They went 5 here. They went 7-0 against.
Yeah,
the
Florida's played one more game than Edmonton.
How about
And the
that?
Oilers are going to be the home team.
That part's crazy.
That's crazy,
Crazy.
too.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
That came down to the final game of the season, I'm pretty sure, against San Jose. It's
2 points, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think it was the Oilers beating the Sharks in the final game of the year to determine home ice in the Cup final. It's like crazy how that was such a nothing game that turned into like higher stakes than we thought.
Yeah.
Or was it?
The Panthers lost their last 2 games.
Yeah.
And the Oilers won their last game, and the Oilers finished with 101 points, and the Panthers finished with 98. So had the Panthers gone out there and won one of those final 2, and the Oilers had lost.
Yeah.
It came right down to the end when we're all focused on the Oilers just getting healthy, getting into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that was happening over here that I don't know if anyone was paying attention to was that home ice, and it was the Hurricanes. It was 2 points for the Hurricanes.
Right.
So that one like clinched them over the Hurricanes and stuff. So it should be a fun city, but okay. How do you think the Oilers match up right now with the way they're playing? Like, what's the concern of the Panthers if you're the Edmonton Oilers that it's like, okay, this is the thing we now have to deal with?
They know how to win.
Yeah.
They beat the Oilers last year. I mean, Edmonton did get a nice run going after Game 3, but yeah, Panthers. These are the 2 best. I said it on the post-game show. These are the 2 best teams built to win a Stanley Cup, facing each other. It's
true.
It's going to be an all-out brawl, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think.
I think the same. Like, I think what we're seeing this year to the Oilers, the difference is the know how to win.
Yeah.
Like they've played a lot of series and won a lot of series in the past couple of years. They know what they're doing. But now Dallas is always flaked out at this point. LA's always flaked out in the first round.
True.
Vegas did make it to the end, but now we're playing a team that's played. This will be their 12th series in the last 3 years.
Yep.
So
Third straight Cup final too.
But a lot of their interviews certainly talk about like the experience and they're calm and collected. But that also tells me that there's another level. There's another step that they can take, and I think they're ready for it.
they haven't ever had to hit desperation.
Right.
That's very true.
Like there's still one more thing they can grit towards if they need to. So.
Is that a scary thing though, that they haven't had to experience desperation?
No.
Is that a problem?
I don't think it's.
I think it's
Hold it
kind
to
of nice.
that.
Why?
It's kind of nice. Yeah.
But they did have, I'll still go back to, they did have a little bit of desperation. Like games 3 and 4 against LA.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
They
do
were
or
not
die at that point. That's
through
true.
for 40 minutes. Like I remember both intermissions, you and Reed came by and like, this is not good. Like this is not good.
Yeah.
And they were Quinton Byfield clearing the puck away from probably going down 3-1 in that series.
Yeah.
Like that is how fine of a line that the Oilers were to me at that point, probably having their season come to an
We
end.
wouldn't be sitting here. We wouldn't be
No,
sitting
no,
here
yeah.
having this conversation had that.
Right.
Yeah.
And instead, the Oilers have lost 2 games since.
Yeah.
They won that hockey game and have won every other game basically since.
So
their back was right up against the wall.
For sure.
That intermission, the Kings media, we're all sitting up in the press box, and I was talking to a couple of people from the Kings media, and one of them came up to me and goes, "Tom, I'm so sorry. Your team that you cover has had a great season, and it's been a good run." And I'm like, "That's okay. Like I get to go golfing now." And then everybody left, and I thought to myself, I'm like, maybe she jumped the gun a little bit there. And sure enough, they storm back and win the game. And I was like, uh-oh. And then they win game 4. Then they win game 5. Then they win game 6. And I was like, maybe that's the kiss of death. That random act of kindness from a member of the LA Kings media. And they haven't looked back. But I remember that. I was like, I might have been too soon to say that.
That's kind of jumping the gun.
But it was very kind, and it came from a sincere place, and they had been here the last 3 springs, and everybody's friends between Edmonton and LA media. Sure. And they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. It was a great run for your team." And I'm like, I get to go golfing now. I just got a new driver. I'm ready to go. Like
You jinxed it for your golf game.
I know.
You should have got the new driver.
Son of a. That's okay. 2 more weeks.
Yeah, and that's crazy to think. I'm just going back to that LA series after the 2 games.
Yeah, Reed and I were like, this is not good.
We had Reed on the Hangout, and it was just going like I think one of the questions that we were debating was, what have they done well? and I don't think we had anything to go to. Like I
Not
think
at that
in
point.
so many areas, it was like Kings are playing better. This isn't happening.
Goaltending's
This isn't
bad.
there.
Yeah,
and
coaching
it's
bad.
just from where you are now. You go into a Panthers series, and it's just like since that, like even game 1 against the Dallas Stars, it was the Stars power play was unbelievable. The Oilers penalty kill stunk. Well, that completely flipped.
Yep.
The Oilers couldn't score power play goals. Well, that completely flipped yet again. Like they are really just actually turned it on at the perfect time. And then it also leads me to believe I kind of had this feeling last year it didn't work, but now it adds on to this theory last year. Just Connor and Leon are now in the Stanley Cup final. They're not going to lose this 2 in a row.
I knock on wood again, but I have a tough time seeing them
Again, that's drywall. But we'll use
Stud somewhere. Stud is somewhere.
I have a tough time seeing them allowing this team to lose. Like those two want to win. Like
Yeah.
There's no guarantee when you're going to get back. If you're ever going to get back in your careers type thing.
no, and they got to win it at some point in their careers. Like they don't want to be known. Like Connor McDavid can't be the generational player that didn't win a Stanley Cup. That he doesn't want to be that guy.
They're worried about their legacies.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing for me here. It's just like I Big U had it. Some might say they will lay it on the line.
By the way, I'm hearing we might see Triumph at the fan park.
Oh
you
yeah, the
can
fan park. Are
experience
they doing
laying
the
it on the line in person? Not that we're tired of that song at all.
Totally not.
I forgot about the concerts. Are they doing that again? You guys know?
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, they booked them.
Shania Twain was great last year. It was great. I enjoyed my time. But no, I
You were there?
Yeah, I was there.
Of course you were, Ben.
I mean, come on. I wouldn't be, a good observer if I wasn't. I gotta go experience the city.
Were you spraying beer on my Uncle Gene?
Never. I'm never that guy that throws a beer up in the air when they score.
Do you know how expensive those beers are?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Like tall cans
For those
like
people that
18
can take the
bucks.
beer or throw it up, like I want some of your money.
No kidding. No kidding.
Yeah, I think this team's ready to go though. I think this is the best they've been prepared to beat a team like Florida. Because if you look at their track record with Dallas and Vegas, like everyone else, I think outside of Edmonton was doubting Edmonton against. I think all 3 series they've played this playoff. Like even go back to LA. Like I saw a lot of people taking LA over Edmonton. But if they, it's kind of like if you want to bet against Edmonton, take that risk at your own will because it's like they're buzzing right now. I don't know if it'll be 5 games like the other 2 series, but I said that about Dallas. I said I don't know if that'll be a 5-game series like Vegas. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think Edmonton's the most prepared.
The crazy thing is, I could see the Oilers doing it in 5.
Yeah, it's hard not to believe it when it's been 2 series in a row of very good teams. Like Vegas and Dallas are not bad teams. Those are
But they looked bad.
they looked like
I think that's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah.
Is that Dallas didn't look like Dallas.
Right.
They're a team that looked like I'm like, why are you in the Western Conference Final?
I know.
Right, yeah.
I know.
Like, you're not good.
yeah.
But it's not like they're not like they are good.
They are, I
When you
know.
watch that series, you feel like no, you're not good, but it's because the other team is also just so much better than them.
Yeah.
And the Magic playoffs too. The watching social media and watching Leaf fans cry and yell again. Like, come on.
Yes. what station was that? I was on Buffalo Radio yesterday morning, and there was like this rally cry around making fun of Leafs Nation and everything that's going on there, and it really resonated with my friends in Buffalo. They're like, yeah, we hate the Leafs too. It's like, great, so do we.
Well, that's one of the good things. If the Oilers go win the Stanley Cup, you win the cup, you're happy. You also be like, we could do something like Toronto. You couldn't even you can't beat this team. We took
They've
care of
never
them. Don't
won
worry.
more than 2 rounds. They've never won more than 2 rounds.
Jeff Skinner has more conference finals goals than Austin Matthews.
That is so funny. That is so funny.
Listen, Jeff Skinner in his 2 career playoff games has more conference finals goals and impactful playoff goals than Austin Matthews does.
I have a couple of texts I want to rattle off. Keep those coming in. 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox. This one says, one thing you guys haven't mentioned is that we still haven't seen the best the Oilers can bring, even with them rolling through the first 3 series. The Oilers have done what they did the first 3 series without playing their best game. Their game is super efficient.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Like it's this depth. It's the like all things are firing that I think they are playing at or near their best game. It just doesn't even. They're making it look easy.
Yeah.
Like it's just simple. It's the lines are all rolling, all doing great. They're nonchalant about everything. Everything is just calm. They win a game. It's just calm.
Responsible is the word that comes to mind when you're describing it that way. I'm like, this is a responsible team.
Like
I can't believe I'm saying that about the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Emotions are all in check. Like, we're not the
Yeah.
city dealing with like what Dallas is dealing with emotions and, the Leafs and all these, everything's just calm, cool, collected. It's kind of Knobloch style. He's not a super
True.
Pretty calm guy.
Yeah.
But
I think I heard, if I heard this correctly on the ESPN broadcast last night, for coach in his first 2 years or whatever, has the most playoff wins.
yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, because like in back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals for Chris Knobloch, his first time ever as an NHL head coach,
Yeah. Whoa.
and he's just so calm.
Yeah.
Like you would never at this moment you would never expect to see anything close to what Pete DeBoer did yesterday.
I was literally just about to say, dare I say that Dallas could have used Chris Knobloch last night for the single decisions they made in the first period. Like Chris Knobloch's not making that move with like screaming at his bench and then changing his goalie out of just pure emotion. Like.
And getting everything right again.
Well, yeah,
like
yeah.
I think there was a lot of people that would have said you go 11-7 with Matthias Ekholm coming. He went, no, I'm gonna go 12-6. I'm gonna bring Skinner in. I'm gonna bring Matthias Ekholm in. Works out.
Okay.
Yep.
27-14 is his playoff coaching record. That is a .659 winning percentage.
Damn good.
Decent.
And I think the success he is having is one of the reasons Jay Woodcroft is not getting a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay
That's a good
Woodcroft
point.
looked. What left is depending on which way you want to look at the stats, either is the winningest or second winningest coach in Oilers history, and everyone, how do you fire this guy? But this other guy comes in and he goes to the Cup final 2 years in a row, and I think people will go, well, yeah, no, this guy's doing even better, but Woodcroft, you're somewhat maybe we're a byproduct of that organization of having Connor and Leon, and we might not be seeing because what are we down to?
Coaching wise?
Yeah, Pitt.
Lane Lambert got hired in Seattle yesterday.
Yeah, Sturm went to Boston.
Yeah.
Did Pitt hire anyone?
I didn't see anything.
So I think it's
I want to
Pitt,
say yes.
Philly?
or didn't Philly got Tocchet?
Oh, right. They're talking. My bad.
Has Anaheim?
Quenneville.
Right.
wow.
Right.
I think it might be just Pittsburgh potentially, and then soon to be Dallas.
Who did Chicago grab again?
Blashill.
That's. Oh, really? Yeah. I missed that.
Yeah,
Jeez.
7 missed appearances of the playoffs with the Detroit Red Wings, and they went, we want that guy.
Hey.
That's who we want, a piece of that action.
Oh, never made
It's just
it.
Pittsburgh.
That's who we want. It's just Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So unless Woody goes there, or potentially Dallas, if that change happens there, he might be
The odds of
without
that
a
very much higher than they were yesterday morning.
that there's an opening in Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For those that missed the Stanley Cup final schedule, by the way, Wednesday, June 4th will begin here in Edmonton. All games are 6 o'clock. Friday, June 6th. Monday, June 9th, they'll head to Florida. Thursday, June 12th. Saturday, the 14th. Tuesday, the 17th. Friday, the 20th. The weird part of this schedule is between games 3 and 4 in Florida, they're getting an extra day off. But then between games 4 and 5 with the travel, they're not getting that extra day off. So they swapped that extra day around, the day off around. Used to be, well, last year it was when there was travel, there was an extra day for the travel. This year they're doing it actually between games 3 and 4 and not between games 4 and 5, which is weird to me.
This is NBA related, I think.
Probably.
Yeah, I think that's what it
That'd
is.
be an assumption there, especially with them starting it sooner there. But if this series were to end in 5, it would be on June 14th, a Saturday. Otherwise, it will be Tuesday the 17th or June the 20th. I couldn't imagine it.
Saturday night.
A Saturday night.
Crazy.
If it ended,
1 week from now, what time do I need to line up for the fan park? Like, am I there at 8 a.m. and just like...
Tell them about, remember last year when we were sitting on the amenities floor and we're looking down? It started, how early did it start?
well, I
you can see
remember
from
I
your-
was trying
I
to
was in
think.
that line.
It was
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
I didn't get in.
Really?
What time did you get to the line?
I showed up for 1:30, I think,
Whoa.
or 2. eventually the line did not matter because everyone just like whoever wasn't in line. Well, the line went so long that it went all the way around. I don't know the street names for it, but all the way around where the back of the line was near the entrance. So when they would open the entrance to let in a brief amount of people, the people at the back of the line would just go and just barge in. And like barricades got thrown around everywhere, and it was ridiculous. So.
They have fixed that very much this year.
Yeah.
I remember. I think we had a nasty. Lance Kane was on last year, and he was going. I think it was a game day even because he's like, I'm going down for noon.
Yeah,
I got to line up at noon for the moss pit.
Yeah,
that's what time he was planning it.
They should honestly just shut down 104th like they do for the market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just there.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I always thought they would do that. And I'm
So did I.
like, you could shut off a large part of the downtown core areas and just throw a bunch of screens up. They're gonna have to do that anyway.
Well, they've been closing down the streets. They've been closing down the streets to traffic, and they put like big barricades up on 104th Ave.
There's that giant screen in front of Arcadia that they've been doing for games. Just put one of those. They look really sweet. Yeah.
Somebody would have to do it though. City's got to do it or something. Come
on.
Or there's one everyone in this district.
I think the Oilers making enough money, they could go to the city and be like,
Trust.
"We'll do this up, but we want to. We
have
a
the
big
concessions.
beers garden, and we
Yeah.
wanted concessions, and
Yep.
it could get done."
Listen, they're making money hand over fist.
I think they're doing all right.
Yeah.
They're doing all right here.
You can kind of let the overflow and keep the peace. Stay in the streets, right?
But this is also where I always just do wonder, and I thought this last year, and I don't want to get too far ahead of things, but should there be a parade? Where is it?
Yes. Last year they were talking about it something to do with the ledge.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And then you also have to assume Commonwealth would be an option.
Yeah.
But then you also had the Ice District that you always thought Ice District would be, but it's too small.
It's too small.
But could you do Ice District and then close off streets and do a bunch of screens around? You know, that's
I don't know.
the one thing I'm just very curious about.
I like the Commonwealth idea. If I had to choose, make me mayor, I'd pick the Commonwealth idea. I just like it. It's
It works.
everyone can see. It's it's a beautiful spot.
It works
Yeah.
great if they win in 7.
Ends on
Because the
Friday.
Elks play on June 19th, and the game 7 is June 20th, and then the Elks go on the road. It also works decent if they do it in 5, because the Elks play on the 19th. So you could do something on
It's all lining
the
up.
16th.
Five or 7 gives us a home win too.
Yes.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
If it goes 6, which is Tuesday, they could still do the parade on June 20th, the day after an Elks win against
come back.
Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did say win.
How many people are going to flood the airport as they're coming? Like,
Yeah,
that'd be really cool.
that's right. Jeez.
It's gonna be. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but like that's gonna be nuts. Like a Canadian team hasn't won in this like era of
32 years.
yeah. So like any Canadian team that would win, it would be just nuts in that city.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it would be.
like
Even Ottawa.
I don't want another Canadian team to win. I want it to be Edmonton.
And that's how it should be. Like every other Canadian team should not be cheering for the Edmonton Oilers.
You just can't. You want to be. You want to be that
Yes,
team that
you
gets it
wanna
first.
end it.
Yeah,
You
you
wanna
want to
end
end the
it.
drought, right? Like
True.
But and for Connor though, this is a big year for him as Mr. Canada if he wants to ever get that title.
wins everything. Like if you
Four
want to-
Nations goal, game-winning goal, brings the cup back to Canada, brings the cup to the Edmonton Oilers. That's the making of a pretty good year for Connor McDavid.
Yep.
That's the part. Oh, it's Smitty. Well, stop talking about parade. Holy smokes! It's just a question here, dude.
There's a
just
couple people
deal with
texting
it.
in too. Are those the same people that were mad about Connor touching the trophy yesterday?
Yeah, this doesn't do anything about it. It's just, and honestly, it's just something I thought about it last year too. It's just an idea of what are the logistics behind it because I wasn't alive when they last won cups.
You got to think that there's people right now already planning this in case it has to happen.
Oh, they'd have to because you'd have to have
it's not
cops
something you
ready
can
to
just
go.
shut down, and you can't just do this
Yeah.
all in an instant. Like the planning's happening.
It'd have to be.
Yeah.
And even like as we're saying with Commonwealth, if it was to be Commonwealth, you got to deal with the Elks because their schedule and they're June 19th. And then, okay, but if it's not there, if it's the Ledge, okay, well, does it work? You know, I don't know. Security wise, like I guess the Premier and them, they could do other things. But if there's a big thing that's going on, like do they have to, that's a huge security area. It is the head of our provincial government that's there. You can't just have you got to be careful security for that. So there's a lot that's
Well, All sorts of things.
Has to be figured out. CJ in Chicago, flights to Fort Lauderdale booked, flights to Edmonton booked. See you nasties for game 5. And Aidan O'Neill saying, my boss just talked to his Oilers rep. They told him a box for game 7. Game 7 is $250,000.
Oh my gosh.
Holy moly.
We had someone text in this morning because we have a new sponsor partner. Is it Expedia Travel?
Yeah.
And
Expedia Cruises.
Yeah, she was talking about $2,700 gets you a flight and 5 days hotel at the Westin. You got to get your own ticket or tickets to the game. But someone had texted in the show saying that they got in for like $200 lower bowl for Stanley Cup Finals in Florida last year. $100 for upper bowl. So one game here or multiple games down there for the same price or even cheaper here
Yeah.
than here. Hell yeah.
It's a different city.
Yeah.
How much money do the Oilers make in their 50-50 in comparison to every other city?
Well, yeah,
Like, come
I
on.
think I saw the scoreboard in Dallas yesterday. I'm assuming it's their 50-50 because I saw like 44,000.
It's crazy.
Like, it's not even close.
I love that about Edmonton, the 50-50. It's something. Even you go to other like cities for a football game, and it's like it's just chump change compared to here.
Well, you got to think they like rely on that now too, like as a part of their own budgeting and planning. Like,
Well, for the
they
community
push.
foundation.
Community
Yeah,
foundation,
big time.
absolutely.
Big time. Because they've now opened it up to the province and the money's just taken off with that.
Yeah.
In Alberta, we are 50-50 fiends.
Oh yeah.
Love a good 50-50 or a meat draw.
Yeah, of course. Meat draw.
Game 3. No, is this game 3? I'm trying to see what. Oh, Florida. Yeah, here we go.
This is on Fan First?
Game 3. I went to StubHub for this. I don't know if Fan First is US or not. Maybe they are.
not sure.
2 tickets. Let's see what my lowest price get in right now for them is $520
In Florida.
in Florida.
What, okay.
It's gone up.
So they've
Even
gone up
still,
right now.
more
There's
popular out there.
they have it right now, high demand at this moment. But I'm also assuming Oiler fans are already jumping on some of those tickets.
Sure.
If I use that site quickly here, just to keep things all equal.
My buddy Mark setting up another charter down to Florida for Game 6. He's like, you want in? I'm like, I have to cover it. I have to be on location. Thanks, Mark.
I said
appreciate it.
5 something.
Yeah, 550.
Oilers, game 1, cheapest 1,000.
Wow.
Double.
And it's only going up.
And that's
Yeah,
all 2
it's all-
tickets. That's
yeah.
not single tickets.
Okay.
So that's if you're
Oh,
going with
okay.
some-
So that's 2 tickets. So $550 for 2.
Each.
Oh, $550 each.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
1,000
So, yeah.
each.
500
Okay.
each. But it was, I looked up 2 tickets. I didn't look up a single ticket.
Gotcha.
There's got to be like something happening in Florida too, where like, I mean, if you went to Florida 10 years ago, probably nobody cared.
There's
One bit.
7,000. I remember being there for games with the team, and there was 7,000 people in a 20,000 seat arena.
Right.
It was
and
awful.
Now you're looking at third year in a row in the finals.
Yeah.
Won it last year. You got to think the market for those tickets is expanding
Has to,
potentially.
yeah.
So that might be the price here.
It was a sad place to be.
Gary must be pleased.
CPAC 54 on the nasty chat. Edmonton living abroad in Europe since 2012. Flying back to Edmonton next week with the family to catch games 2, 5, and 7 if
Welcome back
necessary.
to God's country.
Let's go as he goes there. So, it all will get going on Wednesday. So, a little bit of pause. Liver could take a little bit of a break. Beautiful weather coming up here. What do we've got?
Belzy's texting, and he was in Florida last weekend. He says 300 Canadian for lower bowl, which included $91 in fees/taxes, 120 upper bowl from last series. Wow, that's a bargain.
It's the beauty of living down there, I guess.
Wow.
You get to watch hockey for
Did you
cheap
see
because no
when
one
they
else
were walking
cares.
around with the cup?
Yep.
The Panthers did, and they're right on the in Fort Lauderdale. And
beach
people are
there.
like, "What is that? Who are these guys?" Then like a couple of cars go by, and they're like, "Yeah, go Panthers!" And they honked, but like there's a lady like just on her phone with a coffee. And this is the players with the cup, and she's like, "I don't care. What is that?" It's bizarre.
Portions of this hour of the EST Hangout, they are brought to you by the High Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk, promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehighproductmarketing.com. I glued that well, and it fires now. That's my David Letterman that I do.
Gotcha.
And I do it for most of these liner reads. But the glue came off, and it was some very sad throws this week.
That was a great
Very
throw.
sad.
That was a
Thank
great
you.
throw.
I appreciate that. Tommy was too busy dealing with nasties that He completely missed it, even though he's mocked me all week for the bad throws.
I give you props for the good ones.
Yeah, today I had a great one, but you're busy.
Oh, well, good job, Matthew.
Thank you. No, I just I know I have to be better because I've had some really rough ones.
Well, one
and
you threw yesterday and it like landed right.
It was
here.
very sad. It was very
Totally
sad.
redeemed yourself.
Benny the intern on the other side of the camera. Tom Gazzola, Matt Iwanyk with you here on the EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. We're joined by Rob McDougall and Eric Decorby, who are with November Project in Canada. As we say, it's a big week next week for the city with the Edmonton Oilers. It's also a big week next week for November Project Canada. I got to start with this because you guys are the co-leaders of November Project Canada. Explain November Project Canada. And I would like this part to explain because this is awesome for me.
There's some pride of this. Okay, so November Project as a brand, global, 52 cities. There's one in Malaysia, lots in North America, some in Europe. We're the very first Canadian city. So Andrew Ference, who was in Boston, experienced November Project there, came here, brought on his sister and close friend Jenna Nadeem, and then we just stuck with it. So there's lots of Canadian cities now too that have a November Project, but it is a point of pride. We use spray paint our shirts, and we took the maple leaf, took the November Project Canada, and when our some of the co-leaders had stepped down when we were talking with them, it was like, you keep the name. That is like, do not change that no matter what kind of flack you get, and it's just stuck with. So yeah, we're coming up to 12 years of sticking with the name. So
there's like there's a November Project Calgary, there's a November Project Winnipeg, Vancouver, Victoria,
but people
Montreal, and a Canada.
The Edmonton chapter is called Canada.
Yeah.
We run it in this city.
Okay.
That's how it is.
There's a point of pride when someone messages like early on and they're like, I'm going to Toronto for the first time. Where do we meet? And I'm like, you are in the wrong place. Yeah, that's great.
That's a lot more east from where we are, but we're still the Canada one. So yeah, we have. I'm glad you guys keep that one and keep fighting with that one because that is a great source of pride. Okay, I know a lot of people would have remembered November Project from when Andrew Ference did bring it in.
Is Min Darwal still showing up?
He's come periodically. I saw him last year.
So yeah, we have. I'm glad you guys keep that one. Keep fighting with that one because that is a great source of pride. Okay, I know a lot of people would have remembered November Project from when Andrew Ference did bring it in.
Is Min Darwal still showing up?
He was there last year.
He's come periodically. I saw him last year.
So yeah, we have. I'm glad you guys keep that one. Keep fighting with that one because that is a great. To what's next week? For those that don't know of November Project, can you explain November Project and how people could get involved?
100%. There's the elevator pitch. So, like I mentioned, 52 cities across the globe, but here in Edmonton, our big shtick is we are 3 days a week. We are at 6 a.m. for 30 minutes. It is free. You do not need to register. The whole point is community through fitness. So the focus here is just amazing humans that are willing to come out, work out in the morning, focus on that community idea, and then just move your body, have fun, adult recess. So during the summertime, we're rocking the stairs at Commonwealth Stadium, going up and down. Fridays normally doing hill repeats. So amazing group. Like we have folks who, one of our older ones, in their 80s now, and we got babies in strollers. Move your body, have fun, adult recess. So during the summertime, we're rocking the stairs at Commonwealth Stadium, going up and down. Fridays. And 12 years of this. So it's clearly working. We were rocking the hills this morning and
what do we have, like 200 people there this morning, probably close to?
Pretty close to. Like this is working. It does, you come for like, oh, what is this thing? And then it's just an amazing community of people. It truly, as much as Eric and I can be here, as much as, the previous co-leaders have been around, it would not be possible without the people who show up. So really it is kind of a weird hodgepodge collection of individuals that just seems to work. And it's really exciting.
Remember Andrew telling me about it when he was still on the team. And he's like, you should come on. I'm like, yeah, that's great. What time do you guys get going? And was it like 6?
6 a.m.
6 a.m.
I was like, no, you almost got me. It's like, it's worth it, I swear. I'm like, I bet. But you're right. Like, it just seems like everybody that does do it gets hooked into it.
Yeah. You're once you're there, like, don't get me wrong. Like,
we're not, neither of us are like morning people. either. Like,
I know that sounds like a contrast, but like my first meeting is at 8 o'clock. I work from home, and on Tuesday, Thursday, so non-November project days, alarms at 7:55. I'm like, I love my sleep, but we choose to show up, and lots of people choose to show up. But I would agree, like the attraction for this is that you're going to get hooked, in that first couple of times, but. We go all year round too. Like we're there minus 40, sure. Like the whole idea is that there is someone there going to do a workout. So even if one person showed up, we have an adage of if we're having fun, they're having fun. So we do our best to bring the fun built upon itself.
Quinn was really into it. Is she still doing it? I don't know.
Maybe. I'd have to go back and double check. Faces and names sometimes are hard, but yeah.
she comes out once in a while.
I think so.
Yeah.
It must feel great. 6:30 comes and you got a workout in.
Well, I think that's the other thing too, is like trying to fit the time in after work. I try and get supper in, then try and get a good night's sleep. No way. So no, the mornings works really well. Very
Tom knows how
satisfying.
much of a morning person I am.
Don't even say hi to him in the morning. Like when you guys were talking to him this morning, I was like, what the hell happened to Matt?
I had a good sleep last night.
You did? Okay, good.
You had a good sleep. I couldn't sleep at all. I was fired up.
I slept like a baby. I got home. It's like, oh, okay, it's over.
We're gonna have to have you out. I know, but like
Take him, yeah.
we do a bounce, like trying to get people excited and moving, and I promise I'll wake you up. Oh, it's really exciting.
There's a lot of mornings where like 5:59, I am like
Sorry, this is the Tecmo Bowl happening. We're in mid-season here. We apologize.
I don't even know if is that Tecmo?
I don't know. It sounded like Tecmo.
They were like woofing like dogs.
I like it.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's all good.
Continue.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But the moment 6 comes and we all get excited and get going, it's
Both of you, give me one day. Come to a Commonwealth. Come next week. Promise, you'll really like it.
What are you doing Wednesday or Friday at 6 a.m. next week?
Wednesday and Friday getting ready for games 1 and 2 of the
That's fair. Maybe this is the trade. Eric does his truck when you folks come to a workout. I feel like that's an easy enough one.
Okay,
Yeah.
but so November Project Summit.
Yeah.
It is coming to Edmonton next week. What is the November Project Summit?
Okay. So every year, so Rob mentioned how there's 52 cities that currently have a November Project group that gets together. Every year, one city gets chosen to host a big gathering of all these cities. It actually started the first one was in Edmonton. It was really small. A bunch of it was just the leaders of each city got together. They actually came to watch Andrew play a hockey game.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
And that was kind of the birth of November Project Summit. Since that was what, 2013? Something like that. Since then it's been in Boston, it's been in Indianapolis, Philadelphia, Vegas.
Yep. There's been a bunch of cities. It's
a bunch of different cities.
Yeah.
About a little over a year ago, we kind of asked about whether it could come to Edmonton.
What the process was. Yeah.
And here it is. They awarded it to us here in Edmonton. So we went to Indianapolis last year to announce it at the last year's summit. And we're going to be hosting a gathering of people from all around the world next week here in Edmonton. So maybe I'll pass it to you to kind of explain more of what's going on.
There's 300 people coming from out of the city who have never come to Edmonton before, and they're coming for this. Australia, from like across North America, and then that's not including us here in Edmonton. So like we're talking. I want to break numbers, break records, but it's hundreds and hundreds of people that are going to be at this. It's going to be wild. So we're like I mentioned, we've had this big pitch of all the things that we want to try and do. We get a lot of freedom of what we want, and we're trying to really set the bar as high as we can.
We're kind of keeners, like we kind of took what the formula was for this, and we're like, we kind of want to do the best one ever. So
yeah,
like
100%.
We don't always tell people that, which I'm thinking is kind of funny that we're saying it on here. But
no, we're ready to go.
We want this to be the biggest, best one ever. Yeah. We want to show off Edmonton. Like we want people to remember Edmonton as the best one there ever was.
I appreciate striving to make it the best, because if you guys would follow my Uncle Diego's motto of aim low and achieve, I would be disappointed.
Fair.
So I like the fact that we're striving for the best.
We're going real high.
Yeah, good.
So Thursday, basically everything kicks off on the Thursday. Most people are flying in. We've got a kind of race package pickup we're doing on for the race on the Saturday, but we got a free yoga in the park. There's that hill just across the road from Walterdale Hill, the beautiful kind of sunset side of things. We're going to post up there for a yoga class.
Side of it?
Exactly. So we're going to do that on the Thursday. The Friday morning is going to be at Commonwealth. We're normally at Commonwealth on Wednesdays, but we're going to be doing it on the Friday as well. And that's going to be the big day. That's going to be where lots of folks, it's free. Again, that same idea. You just have to show up. There's no registration. Just come and have fun. Then for the folks, for locals too, but mainly for the visitors, we want to curate a bit of an experience. So after that on the Friday, there's an ice cream tour, a brewery tour. There's folks getting in canoe who are going down the river. There's an Elk Island tour, like really pushing cooking demo. Yeah, trying to get everyone out and showcase why we love the city. Right. Like it's that, jokingly, you're not coming to Edmonton for that drive from the airport to downtown, right? Like you're here and let us show you the river valley. Let us show you why we love the city and why you want to come back. So that's the Friday. And then clearly telling people to go line up, get into the fan park, mosh pit, whatever. And that the mosh pit there, it's going to be great. And then Saturday, we've booked out the south side of the legislature. So that big park in there.
That's
so there's going to be a 5K or a 10K route, and we're doing everything as a relay. So you're in a team from someone from Boston, from Philly, from Sydney, and we're putting you on a team. You've never met them before. One person's going to go out, do the route, come back, you high five them. They're going to go out, do the route, high five. So everyone's going to be all together cheering their faces off as everyone's coming in. It will be awesome. And then once that's done, we're going to be, our after party is the Strathcona Farmers Market. So we've shut down that avenue in front of the market. The market itself, a bunch of the booths are getting pushed back. There's going to be a DJ, a dance floor. Sea Chains and Shitties is going to be there with the drinks, kind of open beer garden patio style. And then Brass Tactics are going to come. They're going to snake through. They're going to get everyone hyped and excited. And it's going to be done.
It honestly sounds like you're basically doing Explore Edmonton's work here. I'm sure we're working with you. They're like, well, we want in on this, but like you guys are literally highlighting the best parts of the city,
100%.
And you're keeping people active and they're experiencing it the best way. And I was thinking about our media peers from Dallas who were here, some of them for the first time, some of the local TV and radio stations, the beat writers and reporters who had been here. They only have a few of them, had only been here when it was cold. And then they were saying during their days off, they would go by the ledge. They did the river walk and they're like, wow, it's beautiful here. And we're like, yeah,
100%.
It is. Now for 4 months of the year, it's miserably cold and gray, but yeah, that is the best, I think, ultimate way to showcase the city, and hopefully Mother Nature obliges as well. But 100%. I mean, that plan sounds amazing. Seriously.
We talked about it before of with our workouts, if we're having fun, then we think others are going to have fun. This whole thing was around like, what would we want to do?
What would we want to do?
Like, let's have fun ourselves. We know there's lots of people coming, but if no one showed up, like we know we'd have a good time. But no, the people are coming. It's going to be a great time. So if you're listening, if you're not signed up, there's still time to register for both the race as well as any of the free activities. We'd love to have you out. I mean, from our side, certainly we want to showcase why we love the city, but selfishly from our side too, there's a lot of folks that are like, November project, you guys work out only and for 1 month? I don't understand. And that's fine, right? Like that's totally okay. But the key thing is 3 days a week, no matter what, we're outside.
All year round, minus 40, plus
Christmas
40.
morning, we're there. So
the minus 40, are you guys like base layered up? Like what's
100%.
going on here? Jeez.
You kind of learn how to do it. We actually did a Instagram reel last fall on how to layer up for the winter.
Different outfits.
Different strategies for different temperatures. But
and you also you're going to warm up when you're doing the workout.
Well, that's the thing.
So you got to balance that.
Be bold, start cold.
Yeah, it's a bit of you don't necessarily want to go in sweating before you get going. But I would say the nice thing, like Edmonton is also, the 4 months out of the year, being really nice. We are used to the cold too, right? So I think when we look at other cities, especially some of the ones in the southern states area where they're like, I don't understand, you're working out at that temperature? Like, what do you mean? Yeah. So I do think that it comes with a bit of experience. That's why it works in Edmonton. So I don't think it works for some and it doesn't work for others, but ultimately we're here and there's ways to do it safely. We got buffs, masks, making sure you're covering skin. So no, it works.
If it's below -30, you get a badge.
Little -30 badge. Like, thanks for coming.
It's a pretty, you can wear that with honor.
-30, almost same thing.
100%.
So where can people go register and like sign up or get the more info? Where are the best places for those?
npsummit13.com.
Is for the summit.
Yeah.
And then what about for just beyond the summit as well?
So anything else besides Summit is just show up. We have it's kind of our slogan is just show up.
Yep.
You don't need to register. You don't need to pay anything. If you want to find out information, our Instagram page is probably the best spot to look. So at November Project Can for Canada.
Yeah. It's on Facebook. It's
we have
on
a website
Instagram
and stuff too.
Yeah.
But
I get November Project Canada. Don't look for Edmonton.
You really like that.
I do. I like. I was saying,
pride, yeah.
Do you remember when the Flames had the Alberta flag on their?
Oh, yeah.
And
that
it's just like
that was a bit obnoxious.
It's also
crappy
like
jersey
we're
anyway.
capital city up here. But here it's like this is like a version of it to me. It's like yes, it's also to me it's like football club type thing. Or hockey, Utah Hockey Club. There's an arrogance to this. It's that like we're Canada. We're all of it. These other ones are from Canada too, great, but we're Canada. There's only one, and it's the Edmonton one. I have a question about the workouts.
Yeah.
Who comes up with the workouts, or how does that come together?
That's
So Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesdays are always stairs. Fridays are always hills.
Okay.
So Wednesdays in the winter, it's pretty straightforward formula. In the wintertime, we're at the Royal Glenora Stairs, right by kind of high level bridge in the Glenora Club at the bottom. So that's just kind of a standard summertime Commonwealth Stadium stairs. Pretty straightforward. Fridays all year round are at Walterdale Hill. So we meet by the Kinsman and go up the hill, up and down, aside from next Friday where we'll be at the stadium. And then Mondays are the one day a week where we do like a body weight exercise thing. So that's when we get a little more creative, find some way to make it fun. We make a game. We have a few different things that we do.
Yeah, that adult recess style. Right? I mean, the nice thing, we've been around for 12 years, so we're not personal trainers. Like, this is not our 9 to 5. We are volunteers.
facilitators.
Yeah, like this is not our main stick. It's just a love and a passion for what's going on. It's why we do it. So it certainly can be, especially with Summit, a lot of extra activity. But we've absolutely loved these things. So I would say the structure of them, there's lots of modifications, but you don't have to be a certain fitness level. Like I said, we got folks in their 80s. We got babies and strollers. You are going to be somewhere in the middle of that, I promise. So anyone
being
can come.
active, basically,
Movement,
getting your body
100%.
movement, getting your body going. Yeah, that's a good reminder, right? Like,
and consistency, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think for us, for a lot of our community members, you can push really hard if you want to, but having and knowing that your friends or someone that that says, hey, good morning, it's great to see you. Let's kick some ass on the hills. Let's go. Like, it works. Clearly it works 12 years later.
I love this. It's just what
impressive.
a time to have the summit. Just works out. Like,
Oh, man.
It's worked out perfectly. Like,
and it's home Oiler games too.
and they're offset from the days we have stuff, which like I was so expecting there to be a game. We had ordered a projector. We were getting it all
Preparing
ready to
for
go
just in case.
in case.
100%.
And we're like, oh, this is perfect. We want to send people enjoy the game and like the most focus on the game on Friday, Wednesday, Friday. Then we have our party on Saturday. We don't have to conflict with the game. It just worked out so perfectly, and we're showing people the best of Edmonton here.
Yeah.
The best time. This is the best time to be here.
November Project Summit next week. Oilers Stanley Cup Final gets going next week. Elks are on the
Elks.
road. They're in BC. They're home to BC tonight, but they're next week in BC. Riverhawks get going on Tuesday, I believe it is, down at Rematch Field.
Yeah.
I don't know the Stingers' schedule next week. They have a game tonight down at the Expo Sentinel.
Sports Talk.
Absolutely. I believe 7 o'clock that game gets going. I don't know what they have next week.
I just want to read this as you look it up. Great text. TG's got the body of a European distance runner and the heart of a dude who thinks walking 18 holes is cardio. Well played, sir. Well played.
I love it.
That was a great
Hey,
shirt.
walking that golf course is a lot.
Yeah.
Tiger can't do it right now.
It's 1,500
because it's so
calories.
physical.
Yeah. That was a great text, though.
So they're on the road, the Stingers, next week, but they're home tonight to Vancouver. Like, it's
What a
just so
time.
much happening. And then we're almost in festival season.
Yeah.
I always forget
yeah.
which one kickstarts it off. Is it Street Performers or is it before Street? Is something before Street Performers?
Yeah.
There's just a lot happening, and it's just it's
Festival
just
City.
wonderful. So
Yep.
you get
Yeah.
great time to also be on the side, explore Edmonton for you guys and showcase the city to a bunch of people
No,
who are
I
coming
wasn't
over.
taking a dig at them, bro.
but it's
No,
true.
it's perfect. Like
I like
they've
exploring
curated
Edmonton.
something there that it's like I'm from the city and I want to do some of these. An
Yeah.
ice cream tour,
Yes.
like that
Who's been-
sounds fantastic.
Who's been to Elk Island? I've lived here how many years?
I haven't been
Seriously.
there since like a high
Grade
school
five,
trip.
grade
Yeah.
5 field trip.
That's
you
right.
know?
Yeah. Like,
100%.
oh, look at that bison.
I love the canoe one. I think is also gonna be really cool.
The canoe one's gonna be cool.
that-
The Elk
yeah.
Island, man, I did not expect this. That one was popular with people from out of town. Like
Bison?
there's a wait
Yeah,
list
okay,
for the
sure.
Bison tour. It's sold out. There's a wait list. People
Wow.
are like, how could? Because they're like, can I go to Elk Island even if I don't get on the tour? I want to see bison. I'm like,
all right, dude.
I did not realize this was like,
It's a thing.
it's a thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Paul Yarvi loved it. He went
It's
to go
true.
see Bison.
Well,
Bison King.
he was a special guy. That one.
Eric Decorby, Rob McDougall from November Project Canada. They are with us here on the EST Hangout. Matt, Tommy with you as well, and Benny on the other side of the camera. The EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. Canada Storage experts, more than 2 decades helping Canadians through life transitions. Canadian storage provider. Find a convenient location nearest you. There will be a convenient location nearest you because they are everywhere. Sentinel.ca
throw, man. You
for
nailed
information.
it.
Thank you.
Very
Tommy.
good throw.
Appreciate that.
Nailed it.
You got you got a tally for how many times you hit the camera? I feel like you need a
Oh,
little
that's a good
whiteboard.
idea. There's been a few where I've actually, because there's a slight delay on the YouTube. I will go back and be like, oh, how did that? We're like, there's a couple few ones I'm like, ooh, that really was a solid one. I don't know if I've ever like moved the camera enough to like shift it a little bit. That's maybe
that's
now my
your first
next
one.
goal.
I see
Is
there's a
like
few
to get
more.
it to like
Yeah.
kinda get the legs to come back and fall down and stuff and mess with it in some degree. By the way, because I actually do want to get to this because Eric's a big fan of the team. They play tonight, but the Sentinel Storage are proud partners as well with the Edmonton Elks, and they have supplied us with a 4-pack of tickets to the Elks game tonight against the BC Alliance, 7:30 down at Commonwealth Stadium. It's going to be a beautiful night. It's a chance. There's no Oiler game. There's no Oiler game tomorrow. If you're looking for something to do with your family or anyone, if you just want to take your buddies and you just want to go enjoy a nice night down at Commonwealth Stadium, where also you can meet Eric. 'Cause
Yeah.
you will be there by gate 2.
By gate 2, we're going to have a booth. You can come talk to us about November Project Canada, about November Project Summit. Just come chat.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to have a booth there. So
If you'd like to win that 4-pack of tickets to the Elks game tonight, text us. Who's the starting quarterback for your Edmonton Elks? His name's actually signed right above Eric's head, right there. Text us.
Right there.
780-218-9999, and whoever sends that in, you'll go into a draw for a 4-pack of tickets to tonight's preseason game between the Elks and the Lions, with Nathan Rourke playing.
Yeah, well, I'll be
No
there.
starters.
I'll be there.
this
Go
said
ahead.
starters playing too, right? A little bit.
He's
he gonna play?
yes. I like how you didn't even display.
I almost did, and then
All the starters are basically listed.
Yeah.
Jared Brinkman is not listed. He's been battling an injury since the beginning of camp. Noah Curtis is on 6 game. Alex Holland's apparently tweaked something maybe.
okay.
And Marcus Lewis, I believe, isn't playing.
Okay.
That's it. They are starting their starters today, at
Yeah.
least for a part of
I'm
this
sure
game.
it'll just be for a quarter or so, but be good. It's exciting times.
Because you aren't a big Elks fan.
I'm a huge Elks fan. Go to all the games. I'm trying to get to a game in each city here. I've been working on it for a few years, but yeah, I am a huge Elks fan.
How many helmets do you have?
6.
6 helmets.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Like
It's a
you
almost
went
a
to the
problem.
locker room sale and you bought.
Well, that's the problem. They don't have locker room sales anymore. So
yeah.
if anybody's listening from the Elks, please bring back the locker room sale.
we might know a few people.
But like, yeah, I would go in the middle of the night and hang out there for a few hours and get a helmet.
It's impressive.
Do you know which helmets you have? Like who's it? or
I've been
they
trying to
just-
collect the different like styles of helmets. So
Okay,
the
so
first
you're
one
going
I
for
got
styles.
was for the 2008 like 60th season. They had
Oh,
a-
yeah.
What's that?
The gold one?
Yes, gold one. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that jersey and gave it to my brother stole it. So great.
Come on,
look.
Paulie.
I gifted it to him actually.
So
Well, did he steal it or did you give it to him?
Well, he just kind of
Was
kept
it?
borrowing. He kept borrowing. I'm like, you know what? Just have it.
So that was borrowing it
Stop
and he just
asking.
gifted it to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take it.
So yeah, that's the gold helmet.
Yeah.
Kind of, and then the
Great cage on that one.
Is it a gray cage?
Pretty sure. I'll look it up.
Remember. But he's got the 60th season logo on the side. And then I got one of the green ones, like the typical green ones they wore for a bit. That one is James Franklin, I think.
Oh, James Franklin.
James Franklin. And then I've got the other green one with the large EE that they had with the signature jerseys.
Oh yeah.
And then the one season, because they brought in the rule the one year where they
banned
two sets of helmets,
Yeah.
right? And they brought in, so there was 1 year for 2 games. It was right before COVID, so it must have been 2019, where they put giant, like the reverse of that, the giant E's on a gold helmet. Not like it is now, like bigger E's than that. They only worked for like 2 games. And there's a thick green stripe down the middle. So I have one of those. That one's a rare one. I don't think there's too many. Not that one. You'll have a tough time finding this one. There's not a lot of pictures. You got to find 2019.
There's a 2008. Oh no, I thought I saw it. Yeah, that one there.
Oh, I know what you mean. I don't have that one.
Okay, so
I would love to get one of those.
That was the 60s retro.
The 60s retro. I had the
You got the
60th season, which was 60s retro was 2009. I'm
That's right.
I'm nerding out now.
No, I'm
2008 is they wore it for the whole season. It's got
I
that
remember.
a different logo
yeah,
on it.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Jameson designed those retros. The
Oh yeah. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of remember that.
They barely wore it,
Yeah.
but so I got Calvin McCarty and that guy.
Nice, good Eskimo for a long time.
And what else? Then I got one of the ones with the antlers.
Also rare.
Moncrief. Yeah.
Those looked weird.
They look weird, but it's a cool like collector's item. You know? Yeah.
Has he convinced you to get to an Elks game?
Oh, I've been to a few, but it would
more?
definitely. I would say yes. The passion bleeds over, most certainly.
There we got it
for
on
sure.
the screen now. That's
Oh, is that? Yeah.
That's the one. I do remember
yeah.
that.
So still trying to get my hands on one of the current ones. I don't have one of the current ones yet, but they don't have locker room sales anymore, so it's
Interesting.
hard to get a.
Yeah, they might start that.
They
up, right?
auction them off, but they're a lot more expensive in an auction.
Well, Hernan did work for them for a couple of years until we hired him back.
How are you feeling about the season?
Again, like a little cautiously optimistic. I don't think, maybe not as bullish as the Oilers, but still, I think things have got to be on the up and up. Like a little nervous, a new coach, different quarterback we've had, but now a bona fide starter.
Yeah, actually, they're trusting him and saying, "Hey, here's the reins."
I'm very excited. I want everything to work out so bad. It's got to turn around at some point here, and it's on the up and up, and I think there's a lot of improvements over the last couple of years. So,
yeah, anytime I feel like I get excited about things turning around, it doesn't happen.
Well, yeah.
So now I'm like, this is like you with the Oilers in like 2013 mindset still, and like, good things can't happen. Now I just think good things can't happen to the Elks organization anymore. So I sit there, I'm like, wow, what's gonna go wrong now?
See, like coming out of COVID, I don't think anybody thought it was gonna be this bad. Like it was going to be as bad as it was. And then, so you got your heart broken once. And then I think when Chris Jones came back, I think, I got kind of excited. I was like, he generally does well. The guy's done well in the CFL.
Yeah.
And then it just didn't pan
Because he
out.
didn't play Trey. If
There's
he plays
so many
Trey
things
last
wrong
year,
with that.
think like he probably still the coach and general manager of this team.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, but now I'm excited about this regime right now. I think things are good. I'm nervous about the kicking situation.
It's not good, is it?
It's not good.
No.
And like, is that a weak link? Like that is a weak link. You can't, if you're a great team with no kicker,
Yeah.
a lot of points you're leaving off the board potentially.
Points off the board, just momentum. Mentally.
Yeah.
That blind.
We don't have our, don't have our Jake Julian punter. That was a game changer last year with punting.
But Cody Grace is a solid punter.
It's true.
And
It's
Killam
true.
does know him. So there shouldn't be too much of a drop. There'll be a drop off because it's not Jake Julian. But there shouldn't be too much of one. Although Javon leaked back as the returner. He's listed as the returner for tonight. So he's back to what he's the backup
That's
running back to Rankin. So it's
it'll
be a Rankin league mix.
That's going to play
running
out.
back.
Like that's
but it's like
change
Rankin will
on that.
start the drives, I think, because Leak will have returned the kick.
Yeah.
But Leak is so explosive there. Then that's why they brought him in. And this team needs a nice explosive returner.
It's true. It's true. That's the thing that they haven't had in years and years and years. Who's the last returner. Last time they had a good return
Tristan
game.
Jackson?
Tristan Jackson. Yeah.
It was unfortunate. It was Christian Salisbury.
Oh yeah.
He had for that half the season that he came in.
Yeah.
He saw a brick wall in front of him. He's like, I'm going to try to run through it. Like, that's how he ran. He just catch that ball and just go.
Yeah.
And he had some great returns and unfortunately murdered that off season and never got to see what his career could have been.
No, I know.
He was the last one that I'd like. There was something there.
Yeah.
Before that, though,
Kendall Lawrence.
Kendall Lawrence had
Kendall
a couple
Lawrence.
moments.
Yeah.
He had a couple moments.
Kendall Lawrence.
Yeah, there's Tristan Jackson, Tony Tompkins.
Tony
was
Tompkins.
great.
I was just
That
about
was
to say
like
Tony
20
Tompkins.
years ago.
Yeah.
I guess. How was
it
that?
was
Was like
20
2005. Yeah,
Yes.
that's crazy.
Yeah, he had the big return, kick return touchdown in the 2005 Grey Cup.
Yeah.
Yep. That was 20 years ago,
That
Tommy.
was 20 years ago.
That's what we're holding on to here in this city.
That kick return in the Grey Cup, best celebration ever. The bow. I still thought that was fantastic. I was like, well played. That was a good celebration.
Yeah, it's the kick return. It's the leak. I feel confident, but yeah, kicking is a big one.
We long for the days of Winston October.
Winston October. Oh man, that's the days.
Yeah.
Winston October.
He just disappeared.
He really did.
And he came back and coached. Didn't he come back and coach for a year?
He did. Yeah, I think he briefly did.
But he like left like mid career. Like he wasn't like he didn't like go any, like he just like did he just retire? Like what happened?
I can't remember.
He was like I want to say it's like 2004 or something.
JMO would know because JMO was still working for the team at the time.
So he played for Montreal 99 to 2000, went to Washington in 2001, then came to the Elks, Eskimos at the time, 2001 to 2004.
yeah.
He then jumped as a coach in what is
What
it?
logo is
Virginia Military Institute. He was there from 07 to 13, then went to William and Mary, then went to the Red Blacks in 18-19 as a wide receiver coach, and then was in Edmonton as the passing game coordinator, wide receiver coach in 20 and 21. He is currently the offensive coordinator of William and Mary. He's returned to William and Mary.
It's an interesting career trajectory.
Yeah.
Like it's the drop off after 2004 because he was in his like probably the prime of his career right then.
Yeah.
Like he was. It wasn't like he fizzled out here and got cut. I think he just disappeared.
That was it. Yeah. Then that's when TNT came out in, Tony Tompkins.
Yeah.
But that only lasted a couple years.
One thing that hurt Tony Tompkins was they changed the rules for a period of time where you couldn't block from the sides. Like you obviously can't block from the back. There's a penalty.
Right.
They added a rule that you also
Forgot
can't
about that.
block from
Yeah.
the sides, and it messed with the return game because it's like you can only block from the front. And his returns just fell off.
Yeah.
And then that was his career was done. And then they put back the side blocking because
Okay.
the CFL has done some weird things in the past.
Yes, it has.
We brought this up on the show yesterday. We've seen the over under for Elks wins this year has been set at 7.5 with Play Alberta. What are you thinking? How you feeling? Because last year was 7.
I know what
It's
you want
probably.
to say.
I want.
Just go with your heart.
I want to say 9.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
I want to be optimistic. Like that's an optimistic viewpoint. I know, but like
Okay,
I want to say
let's
9 is possible.
in BC in week 1.
Win or loss.
If we have to, I've done this with.
This is
That's
tough.
a Snoop
I'm
Dogg
scared getting into this.
concert,
What?
Okay, so
That's the Snoop Dogg concert.
That's the Snoop
too.
Dogg concert.
Okay,
Yeah. I think that's gonna be a loss.
Okay, that's fine. Home to Montreal.
Montreal's still a good team,
Yeah,
well coached.
I think you're going down the path that I've gone.
What
down.
is
Oh
wrong
no,
with
I don't
you?
want to go down this path.
No,
This
you
is
do.
really
It's
scary.
fine. It's
It's
fine.
positive at November Project,
I will
right?
explain this, but what do you think, Montreal?
We can't start with several losses, but Montreal's a good team. I think they can do it against Montreal. They had some close games against Montreal last year. I remember I went to the Montreal
missed
game. I
the
remember it was
kick.
really close. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, Beatty.
Yeah.
I think missed again. Then they didn't give him a kick or something. It was one of the games Beatty's fault. But you're gonna go win or loss.
Believe in your heart. Come on.
Okay, fine. I win. I'll say a win.
Okay, you're gonna go. Here's the,
Put it out there in the world.
I have the idea that the Elks will go 0-3 to start this season, but
They
still
can't do
get
that.
10 wins.
10. Okay,
Yes.
I love that.
Well, when you go, then that's why I was like, you're coming down the same path as me right now, where you start the season, and go, oh my God, this is not good. But then as you go through the rest of the season, it's fine. So I'll give you then they go to Winnipeg.
Okay. Well,
Win or
well,
loss.
That's going to be tough.
That's
They haven't
tough.
won at Winnipeg, I don't know how
Winnipeg's
long.
like
I
Winnipeg's
know.
on the Winnipeg's got to be on the decline.
Yeah, I
like,
think so.
That being said, it's still we talk about teams that know how to win.
That's a good team over there.
So we're saying
team.
loss.
Sure,
Okay. Home to Ottawa.
like they can win that.
Exactly.
I said that last year and they still lost.
Home to BC.
I think by this point in the season, I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance there on that one.
And they already had the loss.
Yeah.
So it balances out. There's 3. In Saskatchewan.
That's a tough one. That's a
That's
tough
a
one.
win.
Trey's a Saskatchewan
loves
killer
playing
right now.
against
He is. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's a Saskatchewan killer. He's had great games in
And
Saskatchewan.
they're riding a 2-game win streak at this point. In the hypothetical
they are.
scenario,
Yes,
right?
they are.
So they're hot. Sure.
Okay, win. Home to Hamilton.
Yeah,
You got
Hamilton.
So we're at 5 now. In Montreal.
No, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
I don't think they got
you
that
already,
one.
You already have the win against
Yeah.
them, so get a loss. Home to Toronto.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one too.
It's a good team over there.
Toronto's
basically
lost some
stole
guys.
their
They stole half the
D-line,
team.
yeah.
Yeah.
Might win that one.
That's a toss up. That's a toss up.
So we're going to give that to the winner or loss, though, side for toss-up. We're only looking for 4 more wins to get
This
to
is
the
gonna be
win.
that's a loss. Sure,
Okay,
we'll
we'll
go
go
loss.
loss.
But whatever. Okay.
In Ottawa.
Yeah, you got that one.
Okay. In Calgary for Labor Day, and then it's the rematch. So there's 2 Calgary games on tap here.
I think they sweep that one.
I think
That's
they got
just
it
my
this year.
opinion.
I think
Okay,
they
so we're
got it
at
this year.
8. In Toronto. You already have a loss to Toronto in there. Remember that.
I'll be conservative here and go with a loss.
Okay. That's fine because there's still 4 more games left. In Hamilton.
Win.
There you go. We're at 9. Home to Saskatchewan.
Team's feeling good at this point. I think that's a win.
Then we're at 10. Home to Winnipeg.
No, that's the loss.
Okay, actually, there's 2 more. There's way more games. Home to or in BC. And then they end the season home to Calgary.
Loss win.
There's 11 wins.
Wow.
I take away that Montreal loss or the win you had. 10 wins, and they could start
Yeah.
0-3 to start this season.
And we're talking maybe a home playoff date there too. The way you just broke it down.
I mean, at a 10-11 wins, you're in that territory.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So there you go.
That would be something. They just got to get the momentum back after those 3 losses. Like if those 3 losses happen, that's
You
what's
can't
happened in
go
the
for it,
last few
and that's
seasons.
the thing, that's the snowball effect.
That's what's happened the last few years. Like if they had won that game, there was the doubleheader, the Stanley Cup Finals doubleheader in the Saskatchewan game.
Yes.
You know, say they win that game hypothetically last year. Does the whole season map out differently?
Yeah. Well, I
thought
even
about
go
that.
2 years ago.
Just
when
2 years ago was that the like
That was they couldn't
inches?
punch it in from
Yeah.
the end zone
Yeah.
for 3 opportunities.
Kyle Loxley.
Right.
And well, I remember Hernan saying the team just looked deflated after that. That was game 1 of the season.
Yeah.
And they just didn't.
It just was
recover.
downhill after that.
And that is the fear of 0-3. But I don't see Mark Killam being a guy that if his team was down 0-3, wouldn't be able to fire up his guys.
That's where I do think that Chris Jones is different because I think Chris Jones is not of the attitude of like people rally behind Chris Jones in a different way than I think they will with
Yeah.
Mark Killam. Like, yeah.
Trey Ford was the starting quarterback, by the way. We do have a winner.
We had a
I
bunch of people
messaged
text
them,
that.
so.
Timberwoodsman texting the Riders will be the class of the West this year.
And I won't disagree with that.
They could be.
They
Good.
could be.
One, it will come down to the health of Trevor Harris. But 2, there's just something about Trey Ford in this franchise right now. When Trey is the starting quarterback, they do well against the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah.
They did not win when it was Taylor Cornelius. They did not win when it was McLeod Bethel Thompson. But if you go to, I think it's just 2 games. But the 2 games Trey Ford has played against the Riders, both in Saskatchewan. Big wins for the Double E. So that's where I go with when I see them on the schedule. I'm not as concerned because I think Trey and the offense actually match up against them well. But I still think Saskatchewan might be the best in the West. Yeah. As weird as that is.
We'll see.
So
Things are looking good. Like for the franchise as a whole, like things feel really good right now. The best it's felt. Like seems to be a lot of good things happening. Like this is such a trivial thing, and this goes kind of maybe back to the helmet talk, but like they're about to announce new uniforms.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys seen the leaks.
Oh,
of
I've
those.
seen them.
Have you seen the uniforms?
Not the full thing,
no,
but
okay.
I mean, I've seen the teases to the
They
point
look
where I'm like,
perfect.
I know what they're going to be. Yeah.
Like they look perfect. Like
Yeah.
that is a perfect uniform.
Yeah.
Like things are feeling good.
They do feel good.
Like things feel right. Bringing back Dwayne Mandrusiak, you know, everything is just, I probably feel the most excited I've felt maybe since COVID for this season.
It's been a bad 5 years.
It's been a bad 5 years.
Like a really bad 5 years.
I know on the tailgate we had Jerry and
Dave
Dave
was
on
there,
yesterday,
yeah.
and the excitement around it. Rob got some sluice juice today.
All right. Good morning.
He's got to
Great.
try it. I've gotten into that because we still have a bit
Sociable.
left.
Yeah.
But it's just good vibes. Like it's slowly becoming what football is down south, which is an event.
Yes.
You show up ahead
Yeah.
of time. You go have a nice time. Again, like November Project, it's a community down there. You get along with people, and then you go inside and you go watch a football game. Yeah.
Well, you only get 9 times. You get 9
Yes.
times a year plus a preseason,
Right.
maybe a playoff game. Like, why not making a big event out of it?
Exactly.
Why isn't that a whole day, event?
Exactly.
You know, it's not like it's not like we're doing this 82 times a year. It's 10, and during the summer things are good. So
I just wanted to watch some Elks playoff football.
oh,
That's all I want.
be the best.
I was texting a buddy yesterday, Mooner. He was asking me if I
Oh,
was doing
Mooner
if
loves-
I was doing pregame preseason. And Green and Gold kickoff show will get going next Saturday when the Elks are in BC to start. Jay and I will be on an hour before the game with the kickoff show, and we'll be on after each game with post-game shows. But he's like, you doing preseason or just regular season this year? And I was like, I'm doing regular season and postseason. Just wanted to get that one out there. Mooner's going to the game today too.
Of course he is. Actually, I should text him. Maybe we'll meet up and go to the tailgate.
It's going to be
I asked Jada if she wanted to go. She said no.
why not? It's a party.
That's what I said.
Go to the Twisted T-Zone or whatever it's called,
That's what I said.
where Belsey is.
She just said no.
The official drink of the EST Hangout, by the way, it is the Finnish Long Drink Legend in 1952. A drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment, real liquor. Longdrink.com/Canada is where you can enter your postal code and find a liquor store and establishment nearest you with the long drink in stock. And when you go to the Stanley Cup final games down at Rogers Place for those home games, they do have the partnership with OEG, so you can get the long drink in stock there. Do need to get to Over Under, which is brought to you by Play Alberta, who are the proud sponsors, our presenting partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Play Alberta, gaming made easy, anytime, anywhere with Play Alberta. You've got a full casino experience right at your fingertips. Play from your phone, tablet, or computer, whatever works for you. Download the Play Alberta app today and get started with a $100 casino bonus. Just deposit 20 with promo code 100casino. Play smart, play local, and remember to use your game sense. These promo codes are ending right away here because it's the end of May.
Fresh
There's
set coming in, though.
Fresh set coming in June, but deposit 20 or more for a $100 free bet on sports, and also use YEG50 when you deposit 5 or more for a $50 free bet. These can be used once in May. May is almost done. We will have new promo codes coming to you for you in June. Download the app or head to playalberta.ca. For Over and Under, they do have correct series predictions, and also when will the series end between the Oilers and the Panthers. I'm going to set it at 5.5. Over under. How long until the Stanley Cup final is finished? How many games? Over under 5.5 games. And the Oilers win. We're going to think the Oilers win. They doing it in 4 or 5 games. They're doing 6 or 7. What are we taking here? Benny, I'm starting with you on this
Go
one.
ahead, Benny. Yeah.
Benny, while Rob and
Where's the
Eric
head?
think about this,
Yeah.
I'm throwing you on the spot on this one.
Like I've said over for this question for every series, and it's been outside of the LA series, it's been under. I'm gonna say over so that hopefully I'm wrong again, and it's under, and obviously for the right team. So I'll say over.
You're sticking with the over.
Yeah,
6 or 7. What would you go with 6 or 7? By the way,
I think Game 7 in Edmonton.
plus 450. If you Oilers to win the series
sprinkle, Benny.
4-3, plus 450. Rob, over under 5.5 games for the Edmonton Oilers.
For anyone that knows me, I'm a silver lining positive kind of guy. It's under.
Love it.
Wow.
Eric?
I'm gonna play it safe. I want to be wrong, but I'll go with the over.
I'm just going to be consistent. Over in 6.
Oilers in 6 would be a plus 550. So better odds for them in 6 than in 7. Oilers in 5, the gentleman's sweep,
Aha.
plus 600. And the Oilers or the Panthers to sweep this series, they're both the same, plus 1100. That'd be a tough one.
Yeah.
Gentleman's sweep is plus 600. That should have been the play of the day from the Morning Boys today. Get that one boosted. Have it the EST gentleman's sweep to bet.
That was a gentlemanly show, this morning.
Those top hats.
yeah.
So good.
They just have Oilers to win the series versus the Panthers at minus 111. That is the early bird bet of the day that Dusty has up on at Play Alberta. Just click on EST specials. They need to get one up of the gentleman's sweep special. Or is that jinxing it? I don't think so. I'm going to talk to Dusty after the show and see if that one could go up there.
No one jumped on my motorized penny farthing into the studio comment on the nasty chat earlier. I was disappointed. You know what a penny farthing is?
Is that
No.
a bike with
Tell
a big
us.
wheel?
Yeah. You guys know. Maddie didn't even know.
Well, yeah, it's. I didn't know that it had a name like that.
It's a stupid name.
It would go
glad
really
you know
well.
what that
That's
is.
a perfect thing for a gentleman's suite, though.
Absolutely. That tied in
yeah.
perfectly. And you kind of call it a penny farther because that's not a thing. It's a penny farthing. It's 2 names.
Here it
Big
is.
wheel with the little wheel. Top hat and suit.
Oh, I just got a text from Jay going, Jay's play of the day still to come, Maddie.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what that might also be. I forgot to promote that Jay's play of the day is still to come and stuff too. So the screaming, this is indeed that we have a Tecmo Super Bowl league from the Super Nintendo system back in the day.
Oh, sick.
And we have a league that's going right now. So it looks like it sounds like Hernan and Uke maybe are playing today. Trev?
Uke is here.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's okay.
Uke is finally actually showing up to games. It's nice of him to commit to this league.
It is Uke, yeah. Uke and Hernan.
I haven't pulled it up on my phone. We Twitch it too.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah, we do.
We-
Now,
it's Uke and Trev, I think.
now
What
when
are
you
the
guys
teams?
do the canoe tour down the North Saskatchewan, you might run into Yukon Jack on his boat with
Sick.
his Pirates bandana on.
Love it.
And Dusty will not be on the boat. Matthew might be. Hernan
I had to
might
turn
be-
down an offer last weekend.
Hernan might be ripping a dart, but he might be on there.
Amazing. Amazing.
Well, Trev's got the dart in his mouth while he's playing right now.
Trev does have the dart in his mouth.
I see that. This is a second game, so there was a game prior to this.
Ooh.
He's committed to the
I think
bit.
that might have been Hernan versus Uke at that point.
Nice.
Someone texting in says, I'm taking Skinner for Conn Smythe at plus 4,000.
Okay, I don't think that's crazy to
Plus
think that
4,000?
Stuart
Plus
Skinner.
4,000.
That's not bad at all.
Is that Stuart Skinner or is that Jeff Skinner?
Oh, yeah.
I want to go double check on that one because
Because like, how often does it go to a goaltender? Like, it's
it's happened enough,
quite
right?
often. Like quite often.
Yeah.
I don't think.
if he goes rattles off 2 shutouts and has a couple other games where he gives up a goal
Like,
or something
right.
like he did
He's-
this series, I don't think it would be crazy to think that he might go win Conn Smythe.
Right.
No, I don't think it's that far fetched. I mean, I think if the Oilers win it, they're giving it to Connor or Leon probably, but
Probably, yeah. That's a good point.
Connor's already got one.
People forgot about that. Like, he won it last year. He did not go and accept it, but he won it. His name's on the trophy. Are you looking it up?
I'm trying to find
People
it.
getting confused with Jeff Skinner? Or, I'm assuming it's Stu Skinner.
Jeff
'cause,
Skinner's
like,
got to be more than what do you say plus 4,000.
He's probably not even on there. You probably can't even put that bet down.
I think Conn Smythe is right now off on Play Alberta.
Okay.
It's not bettable at the moment. I
Those
think.
props will change.
So they'll have to re-add that. Yeah, I don't see it right now. You could bet on the draft right now. You could bet on the series and leading goal scorers of the series, point getters.
Or would that be future?
But usually it would still show up in there.
Yeah.
Like the last few days, it's shown up when you go into hockey. You click on NHL awards and it'll pop up, but NHL awards aren't there even. So
Okay.
we'll have to wait and see.
Northside Sandwich in the Nasty chat said he got Stuart Skinner for Conn Smythe at 15,000.
That had to be like at the start of the playoffs
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe when he got benched
Yeah.
because no one is expecting that. But yeah, if he goes and he rattles off a couple shutouts and
He didn't play 6 games though. Does that hurt your chances at the Conn Smythe? Does that matter?
not if he goes and rattles
Not
off
if
a
he-
couple more shutouts. Like to me, like that's how many shutouts does he have now? 4?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, you get up to 5 shutouts.
And there's a few like 1-goal games too. Like,
And a couple
yeah.
of 1-goal games. And like it's like if he keeps the Panthers, like if his goals allow average is lower than 2 in the Stanley Cup final, I'd say through a couple of Stanley shutouts, couple of 1 or 2 goal games, and maybe 1 game where he allows a couple more. That could potentially maybe do it, depending on like.
And I would think Connor would have to have a little bit of a slower.
Connor has to slow up
Yeah.
because they'll want to give it to Connor or Leon.
Yeah.
That's the obvious picks.
Like in a 7-game series, let's say Connor has to have like 9 points or something. And if all games were like 2-1 or shutouts and stuff, I think that's what would have to happen. If Skinner were to get
I think Sportsnet had a clip package of some of McDavid's goals from these playoffs, and he hasn't had a ton, but he's had enough. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that one. Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was a while ago. Oh yeah, yeah, that was nice. It was just like you just forget because it all like melts into one. It feels like
They happen to be big moment goals too.
Yeah,
That's what he does. That's what he does.
That's
Like that
he shows up.
that 3-on-1 the other day.
Yeah.
yeah.
Connor had
Last
3
night.
games last
night.
year in the Stanley Cup final where he didn't score a point. He
Well,
had a
the
game-
Oilers' losses. What did
Yeah.
they have? They had 1 goal in every one of their losses except for they lost one game.
Game 3 they lost 4-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made a comeback
Yeah.
in the third.
He had no points in the first game. He had 1 point in the second game. He had 2 in the third. 2 back-to-back 4-point games. 0-0. If those 4-point games are down to maybe 3-point games, then you're close to that 9-10 point range. And if Stuart Skinner then is shutting out the Florida Panthers and not letting in goals,
Yeah.
that's the path
Yeah.
for Stuart Skinner to get a Conn Smythe, I would have to say.
Yeah.
He'd look good on a penny farthing.
That mustache. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Thank you for understanding.
I see the vision.
A penny farthing?
Should we buy you one
No,
for
I
your
just
birthday
want
in
to keep
September?
saying penny farthing.
You can then say it all the time. Go for rides downtown, in the bike lanes, in the penny farthing.
It looked like such
Pretty
an
great.
asshole.
I think that might be the point.
Mike Crosby, anyone heard of a charter flight for Game 6 to Florida? You said you heard someone.
Yes, and actually, Mark, my buddy Mark, sent me a voicemail as we were doing the show, and
You might have
see.
maybe a oil
he did-
stream, a little bit more information.
Perhaps, yeah. He did one last year for Game 7, and it sold out pretty quickly. So I'm assuming the same thing is about to happen. Chris Dixon texting in and said, Tommy, can you ask Eric and Rob about the city's toughest athletic feat, the gristle?
Oh yeah.
Let's chat about it.
So
You take that one, Rob.
So ever since we've been at the Commonwealth Stadium, we do an extra challenge. We need something to work towards, right? Like,
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, those stairs are hard. But we started doing something called the Old 96er. If you're familiar with the movie with John Candy, The Great Outdoors, he's eating this 96 pound
I don't think
steak.
many people are familiar with
Yeah,
the
okay,
movie.
that's really fair. But highly recommend the movie. Solid. They took that and basically just kind of made it our own of like, this is just a crazy challenge. So
Do you want to explain like the movie? Like it's like an eating challenge in the movie where you have to eat a 96-ounce steak.
yeah, it's impressive.
Phone in.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. But anyways, there's nothing to do with working out there, but it's just funny. So we took the namesake and basically at Commonwealth, normally working out for 30 minutes, but we do on these, sometimes a little bit more, but generally twice a year, you get an hour now. And you're going to see, can you do the entire lower bowl and both of the upper bowl sections within that hour? I truly think that if you're training for it, I think most people, anyone can do this. Over the years, we now have kind of 3 versions. So the OG, that classic 1 lower, 1 upper, the bucket of salad, which is one of the orders they make in the movie, 2 laps of the lower deck, or at the accumulation of this scene in the movie, he finishes everything except for the gristle and the fat. So the chef who's kind of running the competition says, he's not done yet. And basically says you got to finish the gristle. So this extra challenge is 2 laps of the upper deck. Of all the years we've run it, there's 5 humans that have ever done this. It is a beast. So that's the kind of that extra challenge. We say generally, I think the Commonwealth workout is the hardest of all the cities. The 96 are definitely the hardest workout. We're going to host it next Wednesday. So not officially a part of Summit, but it is an opportunity if anyone wants to try it.
We're throwing it down that this is the hardest workout. And if you don't
100%.
believe us,
Come try.
Come to Summit and come a day early
Yeah.
and come try it out. That's what we're telling
It's
the
nuts.
world. Because
we'll give you a little special tag to say that you did it, and it's this
If you
whole
did it.
thing. Yeah, you only get it. Yeah, you're not for
You gotta
trying. You got to
finish.
finish.
Have either of you done it?
Yeah.
we've done the
96ers,
96er.
yeah.
We both tried the gristle and have
so
failed
close.
a couple
So
times. Have you done it
close.
a couple times? I think I've done it 2 or 3
Yeah.
times. I've tried, and it's always been a
It's
failure. But
it's a-
I don't even come that close.
It's a pain game. Like you are right in the cave. It is real hard. But we've got some absolutely amazing athletes that come try. And like I said,
Those 5 people are like, they're next level.
yeah. But come give it a shot. You get an hour, so see how far you can get. I think that's the other thing too. Is like as much as just saying it's really hard. That's not to dissuade anyone. I'm not fearmonger, and like come see how far you can get, and then when we do it again in August, beat it. See how far you can go after that. It's pretty fun.
And you can do it a few times and just see, what's your progress?
100%.
How are you?
Yeah.
So how
100%.
close? I don't want to like open up a cool.
No, it's okay.
How close were you?
So I was 3 downs. So when we were in the Commonwealth, we snake. So you kind of go up and move, and I was 3 downs away. I was so close. But it's great.
Yeah, sounds like a blast.
I'm sure there's a lot of people like, what are these crazy people on this podcast talking about?
Love it.
Yeah. Extra challenge.
I know. How did you guys get into November Project? It was a buddy for you.
Yeah, so my friend Trent Schneider was working for the Eskimos at the time in the Elks. Now works for the Oilers, kind of behind
Trent.
the scenes.
Yeah.
So he came to a workout. Actually ended up going his first time on a 96er day. So he had no idea.
Yeah.
Near puking at the end of this workout, and he messaged me afterwards, and he's like, "You're gonna love this. You need to come." And it came the next week, and that's been basically 10 years for me. It's been a really long time participating and 6.5 leading. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I heard all the hype about it on social media when Andrew Ferentz came to town. I was never like a big workout guy. Like I was not good at sports really. I would say I would never see myself doing this role. I wanted to come for years. I always thought I'd be left behind. I'm like, oh, I could never. What if I go and these are all extremely fit people and I can't keep up? So I didn't go for several years, and eventually a few friends were going, so I decided I'd suck it up and try it out. I really wanted to. I just was, scared. Had I known what I know now that everything's in a loop, like fitness level doesn't matter. I, regret not coming sooner, but showed up one day and pretty much been coming ever since. That was like 2018 or so, I think, and been coming ever since. Been leading for a year and a half, and yeah, having a good time doing it.
November Project Summit 13, npsummit13.com for more information. That is coming next week. And again, what is the schedule for non-summit? Like, what is the schedule for those that are just tuning in for your guys' workouts?
Come that Friday morning. That Friday morning at Commonwealth, 6 a.m. Doors open at 5:45, and that will be where the crowds are at. That's where the vibes are going to be really high. It's going to be really tame. And it's free. Like I said, no registration. Just come up. It's going to be a good time. And still time to register if you want to come do a relay race.
Recap the full schedule.
Yeah, so,
3 days a week?
Normally. So non-summit activities, 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 to 6:30. Anyone's welcome.
Perfect. Find them on the socials as well for more information. It's really cool that this is still going on. It was a big thing when Andrew Ferris brought it in, and it's awesome that you guys are continuing and carrying on the November Project Canada chapter very well.
Yeah.
Have fun with the summit next week, first and foremost. It sounds like a great time. The party at Old Strath, going to Farmers Market, like that area, that's going to be really, really neat. Eric and Rob, thanks for coming in as well.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for talking
great.
some hockey, some football. Enjoy the football game tonight as well as football this season.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed that
Fingers crossed.
they get things going. We've got the Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes. We've got the oil stream today. We've got EST afternoons. We've got the Reed Wilkins show with Jay Milne. We got Edmonton Stingers action live from the Expo Center at 7 o'clock on our audio streams tomorrow. Hello Hockey at 10 o'clock. Know what's cooking?
Live on location at local Jasper Avenue. Should have Keith Gretzky on, assistant GM of the Oilers, and then Dave Pagnotta, who is very excited to come back to Edmonton and do the Edmonton, Florida back and forth. So it's going to be good. And staying at the DoubleTree. I can't believe that. Anyway, that's something that's for another time.
I'm sure the media are very excited about the 1 day off between that travel between 4 and 5.
They will be pissed.
They are going to be extremely pissed.
Our cohorts will be pissed.
No sympathy. As well, 8 a.m. on Sunday, we got the VIP golf show with Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock. Benny, excellent job on the side of camera. Eric, Rob, thanks again. On behalf of these two gentlemen, Tommy and Benny, I am Matt. Thanks for tuning in to the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage here on your clear choice for Edmonton sports, as we're proudly presented by Play Alberta. Coming up next, it is the Lock Shop. Don't go anywhere. It's starting in just a few minutes.
Let's go.
There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today,